The number of attempted suicide cases has increased in the recent past, which could be attributed to the hard economic times, political loss and stress. Many politicians and their supporters are finding it hard to bear with the loss leading to mental health illness. Is there a post-election mental health program in Kenya to settle mental issues after elections? I traveled to Mombasa to talk to Matthias Shipeta, who lost in the just concluded elections as the member of County Assembly of Mikindani. Like his mental story, many are going through tough times.
This was a stepping stone for me, though it didn't go through. Unfortunately, most of my friends went through. Some of them I schooled with. When I see them posting or seeing how they have been able to win would be a bit depressing. It is extremely not easy to see your friends who've gone through and you ask yourself or you doubt even the existence of God at times.
Matthias explains his post-election mental issues.
Mentally, I was very depressed. At some point, even my wife was telling me that you need to move out of the house and go somewhere, have fun with friends and all that. But I was constricted to my bedroom. I even had I live in a house which has another bedroom, a 2-bedroom house. So I spent a lot of my time on social media. I spent a lot of my time in my other guest room just to console myself and try to think what I'll do next. But it was one of the most loneliest time. If you even lose appetite for food and all that, it is very depressing.
My name is Anne Munyao, a counseling psychologist at LVCT Health.
Anne Munyao is a counseling psychologist involved in election mental health.
What is the biggest challenge with elections? The Kenyan elections, year in, year out, are loaded with anxiety, especially the days before elections. What is this anxiety about? Our past experiences are shown. We cannot be sure of the outcomes.
And we came to learn that, this electioneering process takes a heavy toll, particularly on politicians. And looking at politics, it is a game where the winner takes it all. There is absolutely no room for losers. And talking to a number of individuals whom we met even before elections, they were very clear to us, and they were telling us, that if they were to lose the elections, they would actually have absolutely nothing to return to.
Matthias recounts how supporters of his opponent, after winning, tortured him during his loss.
Even talking about it depresses me at times. Especially, I live next to my house, which is I live in my house next to the road, and the people who used to celebrate the winners and their team would pass through with Mombasa is known to be with guarides, that type of noise and all that, and that celebration, relations and that fun. When they do that, they would do it just next to my house, and because I was number 2, I was probably one of the toughest opponents to them. And when they mock me while outside my house, and my son would tell me, you see, even your child would not, because I have one son and my wife, and it was tough for me.
To him, losing everything, including his businesses, brought him on his knees. Hussein Khalid was mandated a role of election observer. His observations on mental issues in Mombasa County were exceptional.
We have been out there and we have seen how difficult the electoral process can be, particularly to politicians. If you look at, for example, Mombasa, politicians had already planned themselves. They had, their budgets. They had already calculated what they will need up to the election time, only for them to discover during election day that the election for the position of governor will not be held. that of course meant so much to the politicians. It meant that whatever they had budgeted for is now completely messed up.
Hussein insists that mental status of families needs to be taken care of before, during and after elections in Kenya.
Interesting angle that we also need to look at besides the politician is the politician's family. The wife, the children, who now become quote unquote the laughing stock of the community. You have children who are going to school, and when they get to school their friends laugh at them because their parent lost in the elections. You have wives who belong to chamas and family groups. Maybe before the elections they were talking of how they will help the society, how they will help the family, but now having lost the election, then they're made to face this difficult environment where everyone is laughing at them and pointing fingers at them. I think
tumeona namba kubwa sana ya wanasiasa ambao walikuwa wako sure kwamba mtu akiingia siasa kile kiti anataka atapata, lakini imeenda vingine. Wametumia pesa na mtu akafikiria ameitwa mheshimiwa sana na watu wale alikuwa anataka wamchague, akamuita mheshimiwa, na siku ya kuja kufanya election akapata hata amekuwa namba 4, amekuwa namba 5, na wengine wamekuwa na hasira, wengine wameamua wamekasirika na wamekuwa na lot of stress.
According to the Office of the Auditor General in December 2017, in Kenya, government expenditure on mental health is at 0.01% of the total expenditure on health. The report shows that Mathare Referral Hospital is not allocated financial resources that are commensurate to its status. In 2015-2016, the hospital had a recurrent expenditure shortfall of 82%, yet mental health conditions pose several service and financial access challenges to the households.
And for peace, usiweke hii maneno ya siasa kwa roho. Ujue ni process, ujue it is a representative and representation position which lasts only for 5 years and another day, and why should you people think it is only the winner who leads a happy life?
And now that I'm no longer the mheshimiwa, what is the next thing for me? What can I do? Because I've lost money, but I'm still alive. Let's encourage ourselves that we are still alive, we are still human, we are still capable. And when we talk of someone like Raila trying 4 times, it's because maybe it's likely he tells himself, I'm still around, so I can still try it again and try again if I must. So the decision is purely for the person who's lost, whether they want to come back, whether they want to invest their energies in something else. It is still okay.
Even with the few mental health units that exist, the public is not fully aware where they are located, as there is no existing database for reference. The Mathare Hospital was built in 1910, and disturbingly, most of the infrastructure being utilized to date was established at that time, meaning it is 110 years old. Some of the buildings have even been condemned by the Ministry of Works as inhabitable. It lacks basic infrastructure to deliver modern evidence-informed psychiatric care. Now, there are about 3,900 government-owned health facilities in Kenya. Of these, 29 of them provide mental health services, which equates to 0.7%. It is Kenyans' hope that government of William Samoei Ruto will consider building more mental health facilities in Kenya. For Ebru TV, I'm Odee Francis.